right. Motherhoodsexmarijuana.com. New logo, new things. Don't forget to come and check us out at motherhoodsexmarijuana.com. Go to our featured products. Yes, check out our $20 one click called A Valentine to My Body. Make sure you get yourself a copy of that book. And of course, to continue to support us, go to shop.spreadshirt.com/MSM gear. New things, new logo, new things to come through and support. Motherhoodsexmarijuana.com. I am Kai Storm. This is season 3. Be in the building, G.
Motherhood Sex Marijuana in the building.
Buy
some merch. Buy some merch.
It's in New York City, love. Yes, we are in the building. Did you know? Now you know.
In the building.
No one is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anyway, buy some merch. Subscribe to our channel.
We love you.
And of course, we love you.
In San Francisco.
Now I'm in San Francisco.
Get it, Queen.
All right. How you doing? I done heard about you reading my blogs and not tipping me and shit.
I know.
So I ain't say nothing about a tip.
I am doing great. I am doing great. You know what? I didn't know how to leave I didn't even know how to do all of that. So I'll leave a tip in everything.
No, all you gotta do is click on the shit says leave a tip and then add your credit card information, honey. You leave a tip, leave whatever number a tip you want. Any one of those blogs.
Okay.
Well,
okay. We'll do next time.
I'm the reason why she's bringing this up. It's so funny. In all honesty, I was so excited at the fact that to tell her that you read every one of her blogs. I thought that was so cool, and so did she.
It's so saucy. Like it is so. I mean, if I do a metaphor, it is so deliciously tasteful. I've learned a lot.
Well, thank you, honey. That is an endorsement. I love that shit.
Let's be real. Actually, it got you quite stimulated, right? Yes. Before we go on any further, though, I do want to introduce our guest. She is amazing. I know I loved her from the moment that I met her as well. And I met her through her leadership in the community. Excuse me. For those that don't know Ala, she is not only a mentor to a lot of young women and a lot of young children. She's also a professional transcriber and translator for the Samoan community. And she has done a lot of things that she's not going to brag about, but I am. And we are here on this platform. So we're so happy to have you, Ala. We'd like for you to share a little bit about what your passions are in life in general and how the subject matter, motherhood, sex, marijuana, what it means to you.
Well, my name is Ala Talo. I reign from the small island in the South Pacific, Samoa. Grew up, my whole upbringing is from there. I've learned so much, and I was raised by my grandmother, and all her investment in my life shaped me for the woman that I am today. The main thing that she taught me, no matter how much little you have, but it's up to you to expand it. So I took those words of wisdom and ran with it. So I now reside in Tacoma. I have 4 adult children. Sometimes people look at me and they say, "You don't look like a person that." Yes, I have 4 adult children. I have a 27, 25, 24, and my baby is 22.
Wow.
Um, I am, I love seeing women shine in what they do. It thrive me to help someone up, straighten their crown, in what they do. So I am very passionate in helping women out. I know how it is when I came to America from Samoa being like a dot on the map. I know how it is when you arrive in a big country and you get lost. You feel like you don't have a place and you don't have a voice. And learning and journey through that gave me this motivation and this passion to help, especially Pacific Islander women that are lost in this big country of America. And then also show them that they do have a voice. I am very passionate in helping people with their self-confidence. Sometimes I'm not perfect, but sometimes we all go through our moments and we have those downtime where you don't feel okay. But most of the time, I always try to look at somebody that I helped or somebody that I hold their hand and take that as my motivation and an inspiration for me to get out of bed and to start my day.
Absolutely.
I met Ruby I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
I don't know how we crossed paths, but I truly believe in my heart, when somebody comes into your life, it is not by accident. At least that's what my grandmother taught me. Everybody that comes through your life, it's always for you to learn something from them or for them to learn something from you. So she always encouraged me to look at it that way. So meeting Ruby, I think 4 or 5 years ago, when she just barely knew in Washington from
Yeah.
California, and then talking to her, we kind of find out that we're almost like from the same village. Her dad is like from the same village as my mom's from. So we have some similarities in that area, but she's a beautiful soul. And I remember, I didn't tell you, Kai, but I
Oh,
met you in person. She was in a workshop that I took in the city of Seattle, and she was there with her long dreads. And I remember seeing her, and she spoke so well. It was a workshop for artists, but also it was a workshop that the city of Seattle had put together. So I met her, you in person, but we didn't get the chance to introduce ourselves. But I know in my heart that I met you at that workshop that the city of Seattle that was putting together for African American and people of color. And then they invited Pacific Islanders to come in and sit in that. And I know that you were one of the speaker in that arena. So I met you before.
okay.
So I'm here in, yes. That's why when I asked you, Kai, are you still in Washington or are you, and you said you're in New York. And I'm like, wait, what? I didn't know you're from New York.
All us
Wow,
very
I don't remember
connected.
that. Wait.
Yeah.
When was that? Hold up.
You know what? It was, I think, because I followed both of you on the platform.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I know of you, through Rupi's Instagram. But it was around that time when you two were like here in Seattle.
Oh, okay, cool.
They,
Well, shoot,
they
that hey, the weed clouds
you were
might have
I
had me
think you were
forgetting.
at the workshop. And you know what? It's funny because it has something to do with canopies. When canopies was you were in there, um, and it was by a Space Needle. It was a workshop that was hosted by the space. There's a building there that we all got invited, and you were there with your dreads, and you were yourself, and that was one of the things that I I can't forget about you. It's because you spoke really well, but very respectful. And your, I don't know, your charismatic that day was like, was so fun. And it was so, you spoke um, eloquently, but not in a disrespectful way, because on that platform, there was like some Caucasian people that was against some of the issue that was there, but you hold it down. That's what I remember of you. You spoke, your message was very clear and very deep, but you weren't disrespectful. Like you didn't even that you answered the questions well, and you spoke really well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that, Shu. You know what I mean? Because hey, I've done a lot of things to promote us and to promote myself on a regular basis. So I can imagine, you know what I mean, things might, fly past me but be remembered by other people. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And yes, like, what you do as far as your community is important to not only for women of your community, but just women all around, because you know what I mean, anybody outside of that can understand that, you know what I mean, you come to a place that no one knows you, and you know what I mean, it's hard to get lost, you know what I mean, and the main thing you want to do is find something to connect to in order to feel like you belong.
Totally.
I was so impressed by Ala when I met her. And I think what I love the most is her generosity, her willingness to share information and resources. And she actually put me in places that I wasn't even qualified for. She goes, "Oh, do you want to be on this board and talk about?" And through that, when she had invited me to sit on a board, it also gave me a speaking opportunity at one of the colleges. Excuse me. And then from there, I met all of these people through Ala because she's so well connected. But at the same time, when you meet her, for one thing, you're going to know, don't fuck with her. Don't mess with her. She's not a pushover. She's actually going to tell you what to do. She's a boss. But secondly, she has a heart of gold, and she would give you anything. I meet a lot of my own, I'm going to talk about the Samoans that I meet because I love my family and I am Samoan too. So is Ala. Sometimes when I see my brothers and sisters, they don't really want to talk to me. And so I don't care. And I just feel like the more you have that sense of just looking collectively and not worrying, oh, my cousin doesn't really talk to me, it's okay. Just keep talking to them. And I think, Ala, you're a great example of shining your good attitude in front of people so that they really can see, like, you have a heart of gold and you're very diplomatic. I had said some things in front of Ala that was straight up disrespectful, not to her, but to something else. And she never responds in a bad way at all because she knows better. And I thank you for that. I can learn from that. I have a question for you, Ala.
Sure.
It's about to get really nasty in here. Yes. Disclaimer, if you're looking at this and you know any one of us and you want to judge, just go ahead and turn this off right now. It's not for you. Bye-bye. This is a safe space. And I asked Ala specifically, I said, is there any taboo questions, any off limits? She said, no, we're talking about everything. This is called Motherhood, Sex, Marijuana. And I want to talk about sex right now.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the subject, press on. Press the fuck on.
Ala, what would you describe to be your biggest fantasy that you'd like to outlive?
So let me put this out there for everyone that's watching. We are all not professional in this topic, but the sex topic feels like in our culture, it's one of the subject that it's not been taught. Like growing up, it's like a hush hush in our community. And I feel in my heart, I always wonder. And when Ruby said that, people will judge us, a lot of people will judge us, because first of all, we think different. We sometimes look different. And then some people don't like that. They like the same cultural, essence
Norms
of who we are as Samoan. Well, it's, we're in America. It's a culture where we bring our culture and then, we try to find a middle ground. So when it comes to sex, I always say to myself, people will describe me as, oh, she's loving, she's big-hearted, all those words, and I appreciate that. When it comes to the subject matter of sex, I am like a sheep in a lion's, body. That's like a metaphor. Like, how you look at me and I'm so, low key.
Right.
When it comes to that, when it hit that spot, when you are, you're like a lion, like you just release all the, so I tell my partner, if we are going to go on a family outing and we will get to spend time at a motel, please explain to your family our room cannot be next to them. Because first, I am so, I make so much noise.
Yeah, girl.
You have to, and then I'm also one of those people, like, I will tell you how I wanted certain things to be done.
Yeah.
Like I will tell, and you know what? And also I'm trying to also let my partner know that it is okay for him to tell me too how he wanted things to be done, because everybody's different. Some likes the same boring position, upright. I don't. I wanted to be able to experience all kinds of position, even if it's swinging from the ceiling. I will try it, but there's some people that are so because of the subject matter, that it's not a talked about thing in our culture. Therefore, I feel like there is an oppression when it comes to that, to some of our females. But I feel like the subject should be able to be discussed, with your kids, like tell them, hey, start it from the home, instead of the kids have to find out from, online. There's nothing wrong with it, but I feel that we parents should be able to talk to our kids about sex before somebody else can talk to them about it.
Oh yeah, this is a subject that we touch on a regular basis, because again, we live in a society where things are presented to us everywhere, on social media, on TV, on our own devices, in commercials, movies, you know what I'm saying? All kind of advertising. Everywhere. Everything is geared towards something, you know what I'm saying? So for you to ignore the signals and, try to make it into some kind of Alice in Wonderland world for your children,
like cover
is ridiculous.
Your eyes when there's
like nobody, like that's not the real life we live.
Yeah.
That's not the real life we live. And the fact is also, sex is a subject that no matter what the culture, it's being treated differently. Like in the Samoan culture, you know what I'm saying, you're talking about how, it's not discussed. Whereas in other cultures, the sex is discussed, but not all levels of sex is discussed. You know what I'm saying? Heterosexuality is promoted, whereas homosexuality is against the law. You know what I mean? It's all levels, and all of that needs to be presented. You know what I mean? And shit, fuck how you look. You better not judge the book by the cover, motherfucker. You better open the pages and see if a few dicks fly out. I'm just saying, a few dicks.
I mean,
and if they do, that's none of your business. That's my business.
We celebrate sexuality. I do believe that before Western civilization and a lot of the religious things were happening, I do believe that our people were a lot more free. That's just how I feel intuitively. And that's what I've also been told by ancestors or elders. Tala, or I keep wanting to call you Tala because it's my cousin's name, but it's Allah.
Fine. I mean,
no,
it's Allah.
Yeah, Allah. I want to address the queen by her proper name, Allah. Allah, how old were you, or what age were you finally able to embrace your sexuality and allow yourself sexual liberation?
So growing up from the age 6 to 16, I was sexually molested by somebody within my family. So at age 16, I wrote a song about my experience with that. And then also I almost commit suicide because, you know, when you're abused that way, and when I say sexually assaulted was like everything deep about sex. This happened to me at such a young age. So when you're that young and you go through that, you kind of tend to like hate it yourself and hate it your body. And so at age 16, I really I questioned myself, like, oh my gosh, is anybody gonna love me for me? Because I'm wrecked down there. That's how mentally, that's what I said to myself. Wow. But thankfully, growing up and, you know, learning and, you know, like I was always keeping me busy so that my mind doesn't wander to that. I said, you know, sometimes things happens for a reason. And, you know, I don't know what reason is, but for that journey, I wasn't the smartest kid in my class, but my grandmother taught me the value of working hard. So I worked super hard. I read, I worked, I study, I read, I work, I study. That was so that I can keep my mind busy. Right. So at age 21, no, I moved here from the island. I moved here and landed in California. So I was going to go to a college in Texas, but since I was so homesick for my family back home, therefore I stayed in California. I stayed there, met someone, fell in love, like really fell in love with that person. So I want to say at age 18, 20, I got to really embrace and really enjoyed and really, you know, grounded myself that, hey, you know, it happens to you, but you can move on. You can, you know, like, so I ended up getting pregnant, didn't finish school from the, you know, this guy. And then what happened was the family did not like me for some reason. So his sister booked a ticket for him to go back home. I was really upset because he didn't tell me that he was going back home. He called me from the airport, letting me know that, hey, I'm about to jump on the plane to go back home. Wow. When he did that, I didn't know I was pregnant at the time, but I was really heartbroken because of that. So when he left to go back home, I made a promise to myself that I would not be going to be a single parent because I grew up without a dad. And I said to myself, if I have kids, I would not going to be, you know, having no father for my child. So I met someone through that whole thing. I met someone, ended up marrying him, and he's the father of my 4 kids. I'm still going to include my firstborn because that's the only father that my child knew. And
And he's the one that stepped up this game.
Right.
Yeah. So the guy that I got pregnant from returned back here in America. So on my birthday, you know what? My crazy life, I'm telling you, I don't know how I'm sitting here talking to you both. I could have been dead like long time ago. So he returned back on my birthday, on that year, my birthday. I had, so the guy that fathered that I married, my ex-husband, he lives in Oregon. The guy that I got pregnant from, he went to Samoa. They both decided to show up at the same day at my apartment. So first, here comes the guy that I married to. And then later on but I didn't plan it. And then later on, the guy that I got pregnant from showed up too. So they both showed up. Now I'm left and they gave me an ultimatum like, okay, you got to choose because you can't have us both. And they were like constantly. So I chose to go with the look. So I chose my ex-husband. And we have 4 kids. And it was so weird because I don't know him that well. I knew of the guy that I got pregnant from because we kind of dated and, you know, did a lot of stuff together, like get together and stuff. So I kind of know him. The guy that I chose, I knew nothing of. So his true colors came out like the minute that this poor guy left, his true colors came out. And it was, sometimes I said to myself, you know, I made the wrong decision. Yeah. But we stuck it out. We have 4 beautiful kids, 3 girls, 1 boy. And we stuck it out. We got married for 22 years. So that's a half, half of my lifetime committed to him. We got a divorce. We're still in contact. We're not fucking, but we're still in contact for the sake of our kids. We're very respectful of one another. And I told him, if ever you get a chance to find someone that you wanted to, marry and be with, I am all in support of. I'll be there to help you out. So we still help each other out, and he still give me the respect because I'm the mother of his kids. But at age 19, 20, that's when I embraced my own sexuality.
And that had to take, a great bit of struggle because of, like you said, the 10-year span of abuse. Like how did you make that turn?
I still it doesn't go away from you. That emotional and mental and, it doesn't go away. It's still with you, but it's up for myself. I decided to not be ponder on, I'm a victim of this. I decided not to do that. And I say to myself, it happened. I couldn't control it because I was young. I was also, there, a lot of people say, well, why didn't you leave? I couldn't leave because first of all, I love my grandma a lot. And he told me if I ever tell, he would shoot my grandmother. And he picked the person that's so dear to my heart. And he will also shoot my aunt. That is another person that's dear to my heart. So being that young, I said to myself, I would rather deal with the abuse rather than having my grandmother and my aunt dead. So
see, that's the thing I don't like. That's the thing I don't like. Not to cut you off, but that's the thing I don't like because you hear that on a regular basis when you watch certain stories like or like, on TV shows about, what I'm saying, when they talk about celebrities or just regular people that have gone through abuse in any kind of level, whether it's abuse from a husband or a father, uncle, whatever it is. The first thing somebody's in the comments talking about, why don't you just get up and leave? Like that's not always an option, especially if there's psychological and emotional and especially financial control. Because if you're a wife and you ain't got no money and he breaks all the money, or if you're a kid and you dependent on an adult and one of the adults that you dependent on is doing something to you, there's no way for you to just get up and leave. So that advice is fuckery to the highest level. Like, what are you saying to that person?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you have not gone through anything of that nature, who the fuck is you to open up in your mouth and just say, get up and leave? That's what you had to do.
Right. That's crazy. What's your favorite sexual position?
Give me just a second.
What the hell?
I know, I'm trying. Okay, I'm a huge fan of doggy style. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm a huge fan of that style.
Okay. You like getting hit from that angle, is what that?
Yes.
You like the impact from that angle, is that what that is? Okay.
Maybe some hair pulling at the same time. I'm just saying. Am I snitching? No, I'm not snitching. I'm just asking a question. Just some hair pulling.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a different feeling. It's a totally different feeling, and in that way. Because I am always on the boss role, like I tell people what to do, that position releases me from that, boss role. Like
I love that you said that.
Like submissive to my partner if you are in that style. So yes, I love my hair pulled. Not just, I always tell my partner, don't just grab just a few, just grab wrap, because I have long hair.
Right.
So I tell them to grab me from, all my hair. And I don't know why, but rough is something that's, like I like. Not soft. If it's soft, I'm like, not for me.
She likes it rough. I like that.
She said, no, don't pet me. Don't do this.
Yes, no.
Yes. Impact. Awesome. And then what are your views on masturbation? And do you masturbate?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Okay. Is there a reason?
Wait, I'm about to say, because is there a reason? Is it because, because I can understand if, you know what I'm saying, if you're, because I've said that to myself a couple of times where, you know what I'm saying, my partner has satisfied me that way to the point where it's like, oh, well, shit, I'm going to just leave you alone and let him get it. You know what I'm saying? Let him get it. You know what I'm saying? So it might be something like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know why, but I don't. But I like it. My partner tells me to, play with himself before the heat of the moment. So I like it that way. When it comes to the bed, I always let my partner tells me what to do. Less time, like unless I'm because I wanted my man to make sure that he knows that, he's in control in that way.
And you know what? I love that you said that.
The only time that I would say something, if I don't like or if it's hurting me, then I would say, okay, I like it that way. But I'm one of those people that I love my titties getting sucked.
Ooh, get it.
Yes, me too.
The minute this part is, touch, that's when everything comes off.
Wow. Let me find out. That's the magic button. That's the magic button right there. That's the magic button. You know what I'm saying? I like it. You know what I mean? Oh, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. There's certain, like, for me, it's a kiss on the neck. If there's a kiss on the neck, it's like, oh, you trying to do something, right? You want me to bend over? What? Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
I love it, Ala. Have you ever been with a woman?
Once that, like, even if he, like, just dick his hand, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my God. You know what? I love that y'all said that, because we're all very like alpha women, right? And the way that I explain to my partners is like, I don't want to have to make any decisions. Like, I just want you to take,
I want you to be the boss.
Because we have to make decisions every waking moment. Yeah. And yes, we're good at it. And that's fine.
And it turns me on to see you put your power on me, and I just go, oh yeah, I'm gonna let you do that,
because we've entrusted that role, right? That trust. I love that.
My partner that's right now, I love it. He's willing to try anything with me.
Okay.
And he's like, when he wants it, he tells me. And that's what I really like. It's not like always me trying to give him on it.
Right. Yeah. And that's,
you like to be you like to be dominated.
Yes.
There's trust there, and then you don't like to necessarily have to initiate sex. You want.
Yes, I don't. I
okay.
Initiate it.
Gotcha.
So back to the have we had some pum pum in our life? Have we had some taste of punani? Is the question that she asked when you were talking.
So I'm usually not the person. I don't like it because it's not something that I don't like it, but gotcha. When I realized that my partner loves it that way and it drives him that way, if I give him oral sex, then that's when I said to myself, but when I was married for 22 years, I told my ex-husband, okay, I'm not expecting you to go down south because it's not for me. So yes, I did say that to him, and I felt so bad. Even till now, I felt so bad doing that to him because I don't want him to go down south because it's not something that I would, it stimulates me. So there's no point of me going down south on him if I do. So that's why. But now I'm like, the hell? Let me try it. So my partner, that's his favorite thing to, stimulate his body, and his dick is for me to go down south. So yes.
He likes the way that mouth works.
Yes.
I see.
But we've had a couple. Today is a first. You don't masturbate? You don't like your boom boom lips?
I know. You would make a horrible lesbian, so you're a hetero.
You are definitely a heterosexual, yes.
You definitely wouldn't make a successful lesbian, I'll tell you that. But that's okay, sis. I still love you.
That's wonderful. We love you still.
Hey, we love straight girls.
Well, I'm not saying that he didn't. He did went down south on me. So it's not something that I'm like comfortable with. I don't know if it had an effect on me from the abuse, but it's not for me. So if he said that he's gonna, because I don't want to say no, because you know how guys are. When you say no, so who's eating? Like I didn't want to plan.
Right. I feel you
that way.
It's a traumatic response.
Yeah. So I let him go down south, and it's a different feeling. It's a much far deeper, different feeling.
Awesome.
I agree.
Okay.
It on him. That is no problem. It's not like I really love doing that on my partner.
Okay.
Well, I gotta say he's definitely pleased with that. I mean, because you can't you can't say a man and can't be mad is mad at it. I don't have to go downtown, but she loves going downtown on me. Shit, let's do it. He got to be happy with that.
That's a spoiled man. That's
a spoiled man for sure.
I'd be like, you better eat this.
I'd be like, hold on, player. Because one of the things I've learned in my sexual journey is that, yes, when you give it well, you get it well. And baby.
And you know what? You might really enjoy the G-spot stimulation. The hitting against that part, not necessarily having it licked and whatnot.
So I haven't tried it with my partner, any kind of toys, but because I haven't taken him on a field trip. So you gotta understand, us islanders, we do not believe in toys. Like, I'm telling you, I don't know about right now with people because there's more islanders here in the state. But at least growing up, that is out of the door. Like, so I'm trying to, you know what, give me just a second. Let me get my chargers. I don't want to die while I don't want my phone to die. I charge it, but I don't know why so give me just a second.
It's probably just, you know what I'm saying, Zoom, because Zoom definitely burns your energy down on your phone. But on some real shit, on another note, I mean, what she's saying as far as sexuality as a whole, let me tell you something. It's on so many levels. It's scary to me that in 2022, motherfuckers actually have the nerve to have some 1800 ass ideas about sex. But the fact is that's like real true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you be in 2022 and call yourself a music artist and you hate gay people? And you spew gay hate? Like, you think, like, how do you think you're gonna survive in this here world? You think you can go anywhere on earth and not involve in a gay person somehow? Like, gay people make our clothes. Like, gay people, you know what I'm saying? There's gay people cooking our food. Like, it's like, this is what I'm saying. Like, how you call yourself, having, hatred about what people doing in their bedroom is ridiculous. Like we look where we live at. Look how we live at. We gotta cover our face and fucking where we go and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We making fucking jokes and commercials about fucking about coughing and sneezing, something that was fucking legal before. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you sit in judgment about sex or not want to have conversations about sex, knowing the society that we live in now, knowing that the advancements of our society. Why are you living in 1820? Why?
So true.
It's
so
complex.
True. So my take on the toys. So my take on the toys, I haven't, but I had the most amazing experience. My coworkers, one of my coworkers that I was working with, she knows that I love Victorian princes, royalty kind of like style. I don't know. I still feel in my heart that I, for some reason, am royalty, from a royalty family.
Girl, we all
so
she
told me, hey, Allah, I'm going to take you to. She told me, Allah, for your birthday, I'm going to take you to the castle. Well, there's a place called Castle in Tacoma. So I did not know what a castle is. I thought, oh, great, we're going to go see some queens and some princesses and prince and all of that. Talking about it, it reminded me of why she giggled. And every time I say, why are you laughing like that? She's like, no, we're going to go see prince and princess and, queens and, all of that shit. So coming the day of the field trip, she said, oh, we have to take my car. So I said, okay, we'll take your car. So we carpooled to the castle. Tell me why I was so wrong of the castle that she took me to.
What kind of castle was it?
The toy store, sexual toy store.
And it's called a castle.
So I entered into the door, and what do I see, and what greets me in the front of the door? A big, huge dick, a dildo, like blow up. It's in the front of the door when you entered in. And I'm like, wait, what kind of store is this? Because I swear it says Castle Maker Store in the front, and it has nothing to give me a vibe. You know, it didn't give me a vibe that I'm going to this kind of store. So she goes, no, there's more back. And I'm like, wait, what? At first, my impression was like, the hell am I doing in here? And she goes, no, let's go. There's more. There's more royalty stuff in the back. And
that because those stores always have some interesting
definitely.
The shit in the back is.
So we didn't leave empty-handed, because she took me there and she told me there's no way we're going to do the tour and with you leaving empty-handed. So she bought me it's a vibrator with the two eggs at the end. Like there's
a bullet.
I think that's a rabbit. I think
bullet.
That's called a rabbit.
Oh yeah.
It's the bullet. It has two like shaped eggs at the end. It's connected to a wire, and then there's a remote. So
I've seen that shit.
I took it, and she told me, you know, you put one on your clit and then one on your ass. And I'm like, okay, well, it's you. I didn't even know that, but I really
now
like
I'm all
it.
horny and stuff.
I don't try that because my partner, I don't know how open he is with that. So I said to myself, I would probably take him on a tour first to see the store. I was going to take him to the Lovers, and then from there draw his own. If he's, you know, if he's open, then hey.
No, but I've seen what you're talking about though. It's some kind of thing. It's like, and then because first of all, the way I seen it, it was a dude. He had the remote, and homegirl, she was wearing it. And anytime he wanted to, he would just press the button. And next thing you know, she'd just go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that nut was just too powerful for her. It got to a point where at the end of the video, she was holding her shit to my stop. Please stop.
Man, I wish that shit worked.
Please stop.
No, I would not say stop.
I don't know about letting my husband
please keep on
like that to me, because he'd be fucking
That's
me up.
pretty fucking hot if it was really doing it.
I'd be like, please keep on going.
What is it?
I said, I would tell my partner, please keep on doing it.
That's what's up. Ala, would in terms of parenting, because I know you're a wonderful mother, what was like the most challenging lesson that you had to learn while raising your kids?
So I am a wonderful mother to all the kids that I work with. But when it comes to your own kids, they have a different description of yourself. I'm very loud, so my kids always think that I come across like I'm yelling at them, and I'm like, no, this is my regular tone. But they say, I don't know why you're always yelling. And every time I try to talk to them, it's always like, why are you yelling at, you know, it's so although that my kids love me so dearly, they have a different definition of me as a parent to them. But for all the other kids that I work with, you know, they love me so dearly. And I know my kids love me too, but they will tell you, if you sit down and have a heart-to-heart with them, they will tell you. So being a parent, especially a Samoan parent, there was one thing that I prayed and asked God for when I was little, because I did not know how damaged I was from all the abuse. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to have kids or not, because there was a point in my life that I got hospitalized because my private thing was ruined. Like I had complications, yes, back then. Like sometimes it was swollen from all the abuse. So there was a point that I didn't know if I have kids, but I knew I babysit a lot of my cousins and my auntie's kids. And I love it when I hear the word mom, when the kids, because so I said to myself, I would love that title. So I prayed to have kids. So that's why a lot of people ask me, oh my gosh, why do you have your kids step by step? The minute that I found out that I was pregnant with my first child, I said, I am not stopping until I cannot have kids anymore. So because of, so being a parent for myself, it's like water, that, feeds your soul, because you need water in order to survive. So my kids, having kids, I love it. I'm a different parent. I mean, every parent is different in their own style. So I parent the way I was raised. I truly believe that, your kids should be, behaving in a, respectful manner when they're out in public. And I reminded my kids, when you're out, in public, not doing what you're supposed to do, they're going to say, whose kid is that? And, so please be mindful of your behavior out in public. Not that you cannot act like that, but please, when there's, when you're in public, make sure that you are respectful.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right.
The kids are a representation of you. And the fact is, you want them to represent themselves, to develop their own, culture and their own thoughts, their own mentality, their own ways of moving around in these streets. But do know that you represent something, and you can't just go out there and do whatever the hell you want. Because especially now that we live in a YouTube society where everything is watched, and I will find out. I mean, we'll find out.
That is awesome. Ala, if you had some advice to give somebody who lacks self-confidence, what would you say?
Surround yourself with women that are just surround yourself with women that can uplift you. Sometimes women are so close to themselves, like, because some women were hurt, there's hurt and there's pain.
Right.
And then you wanted to seclude yourself from being, so you label every woman that comes around your life. You are looking at them like, oh, they're gonna hurt me. So my thing is, I always tell women, surround yourself with women that uplift you. When I went through my divorce, I was horrible. But a lady named Miss Grace gave me an opportunity to, she prayed for me. She calls to check up on me. She texts me, hey, what are you doing? Are you hungry? Come over. I cooked this. And I love that. And I said to myself, if there's another woman that come alongside and she's hurt, or I would tell them, find a Miss Grace out there for you to be connected with. And then, just tell the person, like, tell whoever, those women, be open, and don't be closed up, like, be honest and be open, because this is what Miss Grace told me: a closed mouth will not be fed.
Right.
And I can never forget that. I can never forget that advice from her. She said, when you close your mouth and you know that you need help, you're not going to get the help because your mouth is closed. And you should know, as a person, as a female, you should know who to open up to and who not to. Your heart will tell you. Like, your heart will tell you, some information you can't, your heart will tell you. So, but know that, surround yourself with women that uplift you and, check up on you and, and then form a, like a group. And, because it takes both ways. You can also call the ladies and say, hey, what are you guys? And then but if we are being honest and let the ladies know, hey, I'm going through this and I'm really feeling down. Can you guys call me and check up on once a month or once a week? Check up on me, and even if it's a text or something. So I wanted to tell that person to surround yourself with women that are positive and doing great stuff in the community and, doing great stuff and, just go from there.
Oh, hell yeah. Indeed. Because
and also find something that you're good at, because if everybody has different things, like for me, I'm not afraid to speak in front of people. And because I always think that when I love communication. It's my passion, it's my heart. It's what I was majoring in when I was in college. So communication and speaking, public speaking, I'm not afraid of that. But find something that you love and you're good at. Even if it's making little things, or even if it's, writing. Writing is something that we're good at. So, keep writing in your journal. Find something that you're good at and then, expand on that something. If you're good at shopping, because people don't know that shopping is something that other people are good at, like couponing. If you're good at couponing, expand on that. Yeah. Go ahead and teach a class about couponing.
Right. Oh, hell yeah. That's the wonderful thing about these now streets that we live in, that a lot of opportunities can be created. And two things I wanted to mention. One thing is that I heard on Instagram, I heard somebody say that, if you're not doing good in your life, check your surroundings and check the people around you. You know what I'm saying? Because half the time, the reason why you're not doing good in your life is because it's either you doing something wrong in your situation, or somebody in your circle is bringing some negativity around you that's not allowing you to prosper. Right. So the idea of checking yourself and checking your circle, that your circle should be all positive, it is definitely something you got to do. And then another thing is, I heard somebody tell a story, like, what I'm saying, like, how sometimes you stub your toe, but your whole body feel it. And that whole metaphor is, it's like, if something happens to you and people in your circle are not, feeling it with you, not jumping up with you, not trying to create, a solution with you, then these are not the people you need to be around. Because everybody around you should be helping you to get rid of that. Everybody around you, if you feel pain, they should be feeling the pain with you. Yeah. And if you are looking for a solution, they should be looking for the solution with you. You feel me?
I love that.
Totally.
What is it?
I said, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's all about humanity. We wanted to say thank you for being so vulnerable today, Ala. Thank you for sharing your story of inspiration, of truth, of sadness, and overcoming that, because that's precisely what this podcast is about. And you embody that. For those that don't know, Ala doesn't happen to smoke marijuana, I'll just say it, but she's not against it at all.
But my partner, no, I am not against it. My partner, it smokes. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can from him. I ask him, like, what does it do to you? Like, how do you go on like a different level when you're high and stuff like that? So
definitely,
I'm learning a lot. I actually went to a marijuana shop. So this is the first time. So let me tell you my marijuana story. So my partner sent me in there to buy something for him. Being the not so successful and not knowing, anything about marijuana. He just told me, go in there and buy me something. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go in there, ask the people, okay, hey, can I have this? And they will give it to me without asking any questions. So here I am with my big flower on my hair, and I'm like decked out Islander because I just got out of church that day. Went inside the store, did not know that they have to check ID. And here I'm like, hi, happy Sunday, everyone. So good to see you guys today. That. Went straight in. And the next thing I know, a security guard like ran to me and told me, hey, we need to see your ID. And I'm like, oh, wait, what? You check ID. So I gave him my ID. And then I walked right in. Went and talked to somebody at the cashier, and I said, oh, I would like a Buddy Boy, because that was the brand that he smoked. I would like the Buddy Boy brand. And it's like, well, do you like indica or sativa? And I said, I don't know, what's the difference? Well, and then they explained to me the difference. And I said, I really don't know. And the guy was like, how can you not know? If you smoke it, you. So I openly, my mouth, I openly said, oh, it's actually not for me, it's for my partner. Tell me why. The security was really quick to escort me out.
Oh, no.
Building, escort me right out. And then as we're going out, I'm like so confused why they're kicking me out. And they said, lady, if you're coming in here, you need to buy for yourself, not for somebody else. And I said, oh, but he forgot his ID. No, you cannot be in here. I'm sorry, but you got to go. So I left. I can never forget my first experience.
Well, we're going to have to take you back over there.
And then we're going to have to cuss out this weed store, because they obviously are assholes. Like, bitch, what's the problem?
No, but listen to this, though.
No, because I'm a first-time smoker, or I'm trying to find out about weed, bitch. Fuck you.
There's some dumb laws.
This last time, this year, the first of the month, I promised my partner that I will knock off one thing out of my to-do list was to buy him weed for New Year's. So I did my my research. Also asked him a question. I said, okay, what do you want to smoke? Because he said, anything. So I said, okay,
if I go in there, they messed up. That's exactly where he messed up. He was supposed to give you full instructions, because clearly he has experience with the store. Therefore, he know what to go in there and ask for. Don't be sending her with
but here's the thing, though.
What's wrong with you?
Testing me. Oh, he was testing me. So I asked him the question. I said, okay, do you want it something to calm you down, or do you want something to make your mind like go to a different? He said, oh, I wanted something to calm me down. So I'm like, I got you. So I went in there. Would you like indica or sativa? I said, oh, I would love some sativa, and act like I know what that. I walked out there with that bag of weed. I was so proud of myself. Not only proud of myself for getting that, and they even give me a discount because I did my research. So online, if you go online, it's cheaper because you get. So I'm like, I got you. So I ordered online, went in there, and I'm like, hey, I'm a pro now.
Yes, indeed.
But even though that I don't smoke, I don't judge people that are smoking, because, if it's good for them, it's good for them. Mm-hmm. And if, and I told my partner, you will never get me to smoke because, not because of any other reason, but before my grandmother passed away, on her deathbed, I made a promise to her of 3 things. She asked me, Allah, I would like for you to promise me that you are not going to do 3 things in life. And that's how you're going to go far. And I said, okay, Grandma, what do you want me not to do? He said, number 1, don't do drugs. Number 2, don't smoke. And number 3, do not become an alcoholic. I do drink, but not to get drunk or get crazy. I don't smoke at all because I tried putting it in my mouth, but then I started coughing and coughing and coughing like crazy.
Hey, try an edible, girl.
So,
I mean, that's a snacky way to get high. You know what I'm saying? But
tinctures are another way.
Get a little candy. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, you know what I'm saying? You get a
nothing
little buzzy,
crazy.
nothing crazy, just a little buzzy. And you having a snack. You snacking. You snacking.
5-10 milligrams.
You know what I'm saying? The adult snacks, you know.
And so
I will definitely do that. But I have a question for you too, for you ladies.
Okay. What is it? Yeah.
You know, my mind is always like wonder, have you guys tried the edible pennies? Especially because Valentine's is down the road. And I know I've seen a lot of advertisement about that. I don't know if they have my size, but I am, you know me, I'm always like, I'm not one of those people like, I wonder how it feels like so that's why I'm asking, since you two are conversating with me, have any of you tried the edible pennies?
Yes, and I will tell you,
like, have you put on?
Yes, so I got it as like a gag gift. It wasn't good. The one that I had gotten as a gag gift wasn't good. I suggest this. Just get any kind of fruit or any kind of sort of like sauce that you want and put it on that area and go to town. Because most of this shit, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Queen. I'm so sorry. Party fail.
Lord, the weed. We gotta rescue the weed. Give us a second.
We need to rescue the weed.
We rescuing the weed. Hold up. Give us a second. Giving us a second. We rescuing weed real quick. But no,
but like most of those products, honestly, if it comes from like if it's cheaply made, you're better off just looking, either if you like that fruit roll-up type of texture, just you can use fruit roll-ups, or you can use just like some whipped cream or something that you actually like to eat, is my suggestion.
I've never tried it. I've never had anybody buy those for me. And honestly, my king, he would be like, "What the fuck is this?" Because I have one of those people that he is very bougie. Like when he eats something, before he eats it, he needs to know where it's made, how it's made, who made it. He is very.
Well, he has
he's one of those, you know what I'm saying? So if I was to bring one of those, he'd be like, "What's this? What's in it?" You like, who did you read the ingredients, all this shit before even? And then he'd be like, "Oh, so you want me to eat this off you? Nah, fuck that. I like the pum pum just on natural. Like all this.
I like my
you put on the pum pum.
He'll probably say, "I like
the pum
the
pum."
best one.
Oh, you trying to keep me from the pum pum? No, you're not about to put all this dressing to keep me from my pum pum issue. No, keep this shit natural. Go wash that shit off and come back when the pum pum natural. Come back when the pum pum natural. Straight up and down. But honey, it's getting late on our end. And you know what I'm saying? And we've had a great time.
Yeah, well,
it was a blast.
Thank you so much.
I love
Thank you.
Word. Thank you for being on the show, and you know what I'm saying, and keep up with what you're doing. We like the fact that you are part of our circle, and yes, you know what I'm saying. And again, of course, the author in me is going to remind you, definitely leave me a tip, because the chicken from chicken noose. $5, $10. Much, you know what I'm saying? I ain't asking. Hit me up. That's all I'm saying. Hit me up. Yes. Thank you. Motherhood, sex, marijuana, the motherfucking building.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.